What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. And we're back with Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the light of the Lady of the Lake to the entirety of the old world. Even though the forces of order are kinda kicking butt and taking names at this point. I mean, the Empire, the High Elves, Hexoatl, and the Dwarves are all over the place. So for the last little bit, we've been trying to gather up here in Norsca. We've got Muffin and Adadon. Might as well move Adadon in here and then get him camped if we can.
If the lady wills it.
Gather up his troops along with Muffin, and they're going to go on and take Icedrake Fjord, hopefully, within the next little bit here. Up in the far north, our king has been dealing with some Skaven and possibly is going to be dealing with Throg here. Depends on what his forces look like, and they're not perfect right now, but he does have SRPC, Lady Ryan, and Lady Di with him, along with the Beast Layers of Baston. But we don't have a lot of intel on what Throg's got with him, and he is, of course, level 19, so that might be an issue. Way down in the south here, though, we can start reclaiming these lands from the forces of chaos. So we're going to send Grimaldus to colonize Lashiek
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
and rebuild it slightly.
Do you know who I am?
And we'll get Phoenix within the reinforcement range and get him camped.
Oh yes.
Just for now. We are making a fair bit of coin right now. We take the Sorcerer's Islands, and then we can possibly go to war with what's left of the Disciples, or Followers of Nagash. Why did I want to say Disciples in the heck? I swear my brain is all over the place these days, but we don't even know what our Empire allies are going to do down here, and they've got really tough army stacks, so we'll see. We do have a hero that hasn't moved yet, and that'd be Thibaut de Bois. So we'll send him down towards the Wizard Caliph's palace, and get eyes on that last Chaos stack.
My dynasty reigns supreme.
I'm gonna guess that the Empire is gonna take care of them, and then we can push towards the Wizard Caliph's palace. Call that a day for them. I always want to think that the Last Defenders are part of us, because, well, the color is very similar, but they're not, unfortunately. I'd love to have all these lands. It would be a lot of income. But they're still battling out with Lamia and the Silver Coast, so there's that. There's not really much else that we can do for the start of this turn. We'll let Throg do whatever he's going to do, and then we can have our king engage him next turn. So let's pass it off to the other nations and see what they end up getting up to. And I forgot we were moving Lord Yogi as well. So we're going to have to wait for him to move past Castle Artois towards Couronne, and we'll get him a few knights or something along that line, hopefully, in Couronne, and then we'll send him up north to help us fight Norsca. Because right now we're just pushing towards getting the last amount of chivalry that we need to start the big fight. That is a rather large rebel army for the forces of chaos at Prague. And Prince Sigvald the Magnificent is still out and doing his thing. I wonder if Kislev's going to take him on this turn. They might. They have the ability to. The Empire's Supreme Patriarch, is he going to take the Sorcerer's Islands? Yes, he is. So that denies us one free little settlement. But we did get another port city, so that's a little bit of extra income that we can deal with. It's amazing how helping out the Empire early on when they were getting their butts kicked kind of turned them into a superpower. Maybe we shouldn't have been so nice and indulging with them. Maybe. A little bit of war between the Empire and Bretonnia is not unheard of, but at this point it would be very, very foolish to do that. And is he just gonna go into the desert and take a whole bunch of attrition? That's not making a whole lot of sense, but silly Empire. We'll see how they deal with it. And where is Volkmar going? Is he gonna go take on the Basinlings? Bjornslings? The Norscan camp that's up there, I wonder. Emperor Karl Franz has a ton of gunners, but he's also got those special Reichsguard. Zintler's Reichsguard. And that's the Huntsman himself, I believe. I still haven't gotten around to getting that particular DLC. It's been on the list, but other things have come up in the meantime. So we'll see about getting that later on. A lot of the Empire armies, and that's one of the new units too, the Huntsman. They're straight out of the army book though, so that's good. And again, they're bringing back Warhammer Fantasy, which I am so thrilled about. If Age of Sigmar was a proof of concept, let's just face it, the proof of concept kind of failed. So where is Balthazar Gelt going? I mean, he's not got much of an army left. Because he took on those chaos stacks for us, and that generally hurt him. Alright, the Dawi, what are they going to do? I'm pretty sure they're going to start hitting the Wood Elves here pretty quick. Well, maybe. They do have this army up north. Are they going to take on Throg? Oh, they're going to take Zoishank. So maybe Throg will hit them on this turn. Another Rune Lord here. Wonder where he's going to go into. Flame Cannon in there. That's not bad. Probably going to engage this Wood Elf army with Orion. And they lost badly. But Orion's forces probably got a little screwed up. We know from experience that the Wood Elves are no slouches when it comes to fighting. And they just took on 3 Dwarven stacks. So, they weren't full stacks, but pretty close. Now, Ungrim, him going in and fighting things out is a big deal. Well, and as well as the High King. I wonder if Orion's going to have to fall back after that. And they got Grombendal going. That's 3 of their legendary lords all going in. That's a lot of power and characters right there. Kalon Sourscowl. Wonder how he got that nickname. Or family name. Dwarven naming conventions are kind of weird within the Warhammer universe. I mean, named for what they do, after their father, or after their mother. It's all kind of weird. So let's see what the Warriors of Chaos here are going to do. Alright, so Prince Sigvald. Just going to move and start mustering again. I guess that fight with the dwarves did hurt the Wood Elves a little bit more than they care to admit. So that dropped them significantly lower than us on the power scale. Not that we've been exactly the most powerful empire during this entire playthrough, but yeah. The hit at the changeover was what kind of killed us, taking away all of our virtues from our lords. Earning them back slowly. Is he actually coming to fight us? He is. That is almost entirely Mammoths. Manticores. Is that a Frostworm? Holy crap. That is a lot of stuff. But we're going to start off with a big fight. So this is going to come down to our archers doing a lot of damage, our Knights of the Realm doing a lot of damage, and our 2 heroes doing this. We have a lot of big monsters to kill. Some of them are really hurt, though. That Manicore is... one of the Manicores is almost dead, so is one of the Feral Mammoths. The War Mammoths are going to be a pain.
By the lady! Aye! Shields!
But let's get our groups set up.
Peasant bowman! Brave knights! Awaiting order!
Not that our anti-infantry cavalry are going to do a whole lot here. Let's actually gamble on that, because, yeah. Alright, there we go.
Shields! Aye!
Spread out our infantry a little bit. And our archers behind them. Let's send our Pegasus knights over on the right flank to deal with that Frostworm. I have a feeling that's going to be a major pain, and we'll send the king with them, because he's on Bequee.
Victory awaits!
Have our paladin sit up front.
Yeoman archers!
Have our yeomen go in from the flank.
Sorceress! Child of
We'll get our sorceresses inside there. They're both heavens, which not ideal in this situation, but it's not bad either. Our anti-infantry cavalry on that flank. And our anti-large over here.
What we smashing?
And our trebuchets will bump up just a little bit so they're well within range to start.
I serve the lady.
Alright, so let's just pause off the bat just real quick here. See what we can do. They don't have any ranged. So let's deal with that Frostworm. And SAR PC can go after that Feral Manticore. The rest we're going to kind of let come towards us.
Sons of Bretonia! Questing! Horsemen!
Priestess of the lady!
Bretonia needs me!
Okay, so apparently their war mammoths do have a fair amount of range on them.
I am your man! The lady's chosen! Very well!
And that Frostworm is pretty much done, and it is done. Let's get over there and help out the rest of our stuff against the flyers. Send our Knights of the Realm in.
Remember your vows!
And let's just collapse our infantry onto that mammoth there.
Pegasus knights!
Those mounted yeomen are definitely helping us out here.
Knights of the realm!
Hopefully we can knock that feral mammoth out pretty quick here. Let's have you guys go against the Soul Crusher War Mammoth.
Knightly valor! For the king!
We're not looking too bad so far.
Smite them! Leg it!
If that mammoth gets involved with our king too, that'll help us out.
Daughter of
Well, let's
Breton-
pause for just a quick second here. Throw out some buffs and some debuffs on the enemy. Once you've done that, we're going to throw out a chain lightning.
I call thee far. I call thee forth. Damsel!
Okay, so we're doing pretty good. We're losing a lot of infantry, but we expected that.
God help us!
With haste!
I honor my vow! For the lady! Slay them!
Let's get rid of this other feral mammoth here. Once it's down, we can get all of those really strong champions over here to fight. Call back our Knights of the Realm.
Spare man at arms! Get out of here! For our lady!
Our Knights have really taken a beating, and
Sorceress!
we're to get our heroes out of there a little bit.
All shall know my power.
I'm gonna run through our spell list here a little bit.
Might of the lady.
God help us! Villanuevo!
Human archers! Mounted and... Pegasus knights!
At speed.
It's coming down to me having to think on my feet a lot, which I'm not very good at.
Hurry!
Paladin of Bretonia! Champion of the lady! It shall be! To my banner! Peasant woman!
Our Pegasus Knights are taking a beating too.
Priestess of the lady.
Human archers! Number knights! Wreck them!
Just so much going on. It's devolved into little fights across the map.
For honor!
We're definitely losing this fight. Hopefully we won't lose this army stack, but
Swiftly.
if it happens, it happens.
For the lady!
Withdraw!
And one of our heroes is either dead or injured.
What news?
Trample them!
Glory calls!
Damsel.
I think she might have been killed, actually.
Quickly.
And everybody's routing. That was a lot of war mammoths.
King of Bretonia! Hold true!
Well, we still got a chance, because Qingluan's still fighting off. We gotta finish off this war mammoth, if we can.
Glory to Bretonia!
I'm going to laugh if our king ends up killing off a bunch of these wounded things.
The lady wills it! Swiftly! Smite them! I shall prevail!
We need SRPC to get back into this fight.
Hold true!
We'll see if we can wipe out these Marauder champions too, though. Speed it up, though. We are most definitely going to lose this fight. Let's actually save the Sword of Couronne's ability until we get more heavily involved here.
This is my realm!
Right now, it's basically coming down to watching Bequee eat a bunch of Marauders. Why they aren't collapsing with all of their mammoths is beyond me, but see how much damage that we can do with the king alone. He's doing a fair amount of damage. Let's speed it up a little bit.
Lance is ready!
Okay, so we routed the champions. We can probably kill that mammoth. Right now, it's kind of a pick and choose what we're going to do. Love to kill this mammoth off. Alright, with the mammoth dead, basically comes down to how much can we destroy before we get routed. It's acting really weird though. The computer's not hitting us that hard. And with them splitting up like this, it's allowing us to pick off their mammoths one at a time. Throg himself might prove to be a bit of a challenge for Qingluan, but this is kind of entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. Mammoths aren't wanting to get involved in the fight, apparently. So we're kind of nipping at their heels. And I have really nothing to say for a voiceover for all of this. It's sit back and watch Qingluan do his thing. It's going to be amazing if Qingluan can actually pull this off. I doubt he will be able to fully, but you never know. This has got to be the weirdest engagement I've ever had in a Total War game. Because right now we are slowly clawing this fight back. They've got 3 mammoths and Throg down there. And we're just sitting back here, picking them off one at a time. That's a gold level mammoth, too. Or is that a triple copper? No, that's triple gold. I guess it's because we're a flying monster and they can't engage us normally. Though they have archers, so... The fact that this gold bar is actually coming back up is kind of intense. And there's another mammoth gone. We'll go after this one next, because it's hurt. I am utterly shocked at how this is going. So Qingluan is earning his crown today. Like, this is kind of amazing. And Bequi has definitely earned some mammoth steaks after this is all said and done. Alright, let's go take another mammoth on. Okay, this one's actually fighting back. So no run and chase with him, but just trying to keep track of where the other mammoth is going so that Bequi can go sink his beak and fangs into it. Alright, so this mammoth is fighting back too. Qingluan's doing a fair amount of damage to it, but the only thing left after this is Throg himself, if Qingluan manages to survive this encounter. Alright, so... yeah, that was interesting. We definitely lost that battle. Hopefully our heroes had the immortality feats already, so we don't have to bid goodbye to a bunch of friends, but at the same time, that was probably the weirdest encounter I've ever had against any force. And it looks like they are all wounded, not dead. So we are still good. That'll let us build up the King's army a little bit better than it was. Though that said, we're going to have a bunch of extra income for the next little bit. Still the most interesting battle I've ever fought in a Total War game. Let's see what Lothern's going to do now. Are they actually going to take on... Oh, they killed the Black Ark. Does that mean they're going to go after Nagaron now? There's an army from Hexawatl. I am really hoping that Lothern takes Nagaron, though. Be good to see the new Black Citadel fall. To good guys. Good elves. I'm gonna put that. And given that that time of year is coming up, I've always wondered what would happen if an elf from any hardcore science fiction or fantasy universe, Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer, whatever, got transported to our world and saw our depictions of elves at Christmas. How insulted do you think they'd be? Because I think they'd be drawing one of their long swords and having a field day with it. Unless they're like Teclis, in which case it wouldn't really matter. Because he's so even-keeled that it's not even funny. Arrogant as hell, but even-keeled. And there's a big army from Nagaron that just popped up over there. So, maybe the Druchii will hold on to their capital. Well, not if that Slann Mage Priest and that other hero get up there. Last Defenders. They're the one Lizardman faction that I have so many problems trying to play. I mean, I played a few of the others, not the new DLC one that I don't have yet, but played a few of the others, and I can do them alright. But anytime I try to play the Last Defenders, because they have one of my favorite Lizardman heroes, Kroq-Gar, as their legendary lord, it's just such a difficult starting position. And all you're fighting really is the undead, and ratmen, and the undead, and orcs. Maybe dwarves if you go to war with the southern dwarves that are down there. I'm pretty surprised that Clan Moors is still up and running. Not only that, they're making ground. So most of Khemri's armies are in the west. That said, though, Clan Moors should be pushing north, not west. They're really taking the center out of the Khemrian Empire. I mean, that big blank patch in the southern eastern portion of the map there, this is all probably Clan Moors. So if they extend much further out into the desert, maybe the Empire will have someone they can actually fight. The Exiles in the Heck haven't really been helping us out as much as possible, though they did just lose a city to the Druchii. Alright, Kislev. Knock out Throg. That would be great. But you're probably just going to go into Prague and hold that city against the Chaos forces that are assembled out there. Forces we can no longer help with because, well, the strangest battle I've ever fought happened. So, I'm just going to have to go with that. Is he actually going to hit Throg? No, he's not going to hit Throg, but he's going to go to an ambush. Maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to help. And now we're under siege, so this is going to be well outside of our battle range, I'm guessing. Oh, that's a hero titan. Screaming Skull Catapult. Let's see what the puppets do, because they are the last army stack for those guys. Are they actually going to wipe out? They wiped out the armies for the followers of Nagash. And destroyed their capital. And destroyed their faction. Well, that takes care of the Kemerian problems in the west. And assuming that Chaos is defeated, it might give us an avenue to start earning some more chivalry, too. Alright, so how many turns is it going to take before we get our people back here? 4, it looks like. 2 for Furix, but he wasn't actually part of that fight. So yeah, 4 turns, and then we will have all of them back. So let's head up north. Wow, just knocking out the King's army took us down by, like, 6 grand per turn? So yes, definitely be able to deal with that.
Protector of the realm.
Not be able to do much there. We were hoping to do some extra stuff up here. With Stragov, we might as well repair it.
No,
It's a lot of Skaven slaves, and that's their elite army right there. Storm Vermin, Sword and Shield. Yeah, we're gonna lose Fort Ostrog, probably. And we could get Albrecht aboard low. Ton of lords that we could bring back, but we're gonna be waiting on the king. Hopefully we don't lose everything up here.
It's our legend. Our lady
Go and assault the units. That are there. And you can critically fail Thibault de Bois.
Protector of the realm. It shall be so. Yes,
It's a bit of a risk,
my strength
but
and wisdom are
if
yours.
we can get the Wizard Caliph's palace, it'd do us some good and would remove
By the
the Empire getting it. So we're going to move our forces down south to hopefully deal with that.
My strength and wisdom
Why
are
are you
yours.
not regaining troops? Take 32 turns to get you fully replenished.
Blessings of the lady be upon you.
Pious. Valiant
Alright, let's
Lord,
start
do you
towards
know who
Pack
I
Ice
am?
Bay, or Ice Drake Fjord.
Very well, I go.
It's not got that big of a garrison, we can probably take it. I don't want want to spend too much coin right now.
My reputation precedes me.
Lord Yogi, let's get
I go
you
thither.
up next to Karan. You do not have
Noble.
any knightly valors yet, do you? No, you do not. So I have to wait on that. And while it's probably a little bit of a weird place to end it for this week, guys, that's probably going to do it. I'm still feeling a little bit off from the last week, and hockey last night kind of hurt me, so with that big weird battle that we fought through, and the fact that we've got another fight coming up, we're going to call it there for this week. Of course, Thorium Mercs on Thursday this week, we're going to have a bunch of new mechs to play with, and playing through the campaign has been different, shall we say, with the new heavy metal mod installed. So we've had different missions, different mechs. Some of them are so awesome, and I'm glad to see them in there. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, see yourself pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.